This is The Mirror with Sarah and Ryan. We're two friends trying to heal and create community together with the magic of tarot and energy healing. This is your time to reflect and receive, so let's get into it. I'm Ryan, an energy healer, a green witch, and all around rebel who can help you realign and rally against the systems.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a tarot reader and I deal tough love cards with no sugarcoating because I'm sweet enough. And I'm so excited to do a special edition of our podcast today. This is actually part two. If you want to listen to part one first, you can. You can also just jump in with this too, because we're doing a pick a card tarot reading today, focusing on like imagining your hot future. So, how does that sound, Ryan?
I cannot wait. One of my guilty pleasures, even though I don't believe they should be guilty, are pick a card readings. I just think they're fun to listen to when I'm like doing other things. And so now I'm like, ooh, I get one with Sarah. Like, what's it gonna be? I can't wait
Yeah,
to see my hot future.
I don't do these too often. So the way the pick a card works, I've already drawn the cards and I've kind of associated them with three different crystals. So you can pick which crystal you want. We have number one.
It's like a
It
purpley lilac
Yeah,
color for
it's like
those not watching.
it's kind of like a lavender pastel Easter egg kind of colored one that's very delicious. Number two is like a flower agate tower.
It's
That's
like a
really,
light brown kind of, right?
it's like peach.
Okay, peach.
Yeah, it's peachy colored, milky translucent. And number three is a spirit quartz.
Ooh.
Okay, so you can choose. Are you being called to card number one, card number two, or card number three? And I'm gonna jump in right now with card number one. So these cards are going to be looking at your hot future, what's next for you, this future version of yourself, and what they're creating and doing in the world. Number one, if you picked, you got the star. The star also came up in part one, if you were listening. So this is an extra message for folks who listened to that. And it's also just a reminder of your nature as a very powerful healer. This is the star tarot card. It's a symbol of like hope, renewal, and healing. The star also comes after a really difficult time in the tarot deck. So if you are coming out of something or just maybe even in the middle of something still, just know that this too shall pass. I hate to use too many tropes, but that's what this is about. The star card to come up in your hot future means that like this isn't going to be a season of healing, like, doing the deep shadow work healing. It's going to be a season of like kind of enjoying the payoff of the healing that you've already done. So you've already done a lot of work. You've already laid the foundation. You've already processed a lot. And in this world, it's hard to give yourself credit where credit is due because we're always on to the next thing, always on to the next thing. The goalpost keeps moving. And especially if we're in a family or have responsibilities to others and we take on their emotions, there's just never a beat for us. So this card is coming up to really remind you to celebrate yourself, that it's safe to enjoy where you're at. It's safe to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And just know that like there's more, even more healing, more comfort, more grace on its way for you. Kind of maybe even at a level you haven't experienced before. A new high. We're resetting what we think of as ultimate success. It's a new level. Like they've built another floor or they dug another basement or something. Like there's more to it than you previously imagined. So that was my reading for number one, if you picked my lavender colored stone. For number two, which is the one if you picked my flower agate stone. here is your reading on your hot future. You got Princess of Cups. Princess of Cups. So this would be Page of Cups. If you're listen, if you care about tarot structures, that's what this corresponds to. Cups are the suit of the heart, of emotion. To me, they're very gentle and creative and nurturing. And it's also like this really playful, dreamy space where magical things happen. And like the journey of the cups helps us tap into this realm where there's like crystalline infinity possibilities. So the Princess of Cups is this is when we're looking at your hot future, what this is going to look like is you getting a chance to connect to this essence of you more often. You might even want to like create a container for this aspect of yourself to have more time to play and experiment and try new things. I love her super long hair in the card. To me, that's just like a symbol of like her wildness and her kind of like lushness. And she's got this like cup that she's holding in the center. It looks like she's on a lily pad in like a lake of her own hair almost. So this card to come up for your hot future, I really want you to look at ways where you can create more play in your life. I see a lot of like playfulness, a lot of gentleness, and also like you're in the very beginning stages of this emotional journey. So just know that like, you know, stepping into this energy is great. It's fantastic. It's going to get some levity in your life and connect you to things that maybe you haven't connected to in a while, like that childhood playful self version of you. But also like you're just getting started on this emotional journey. Like there's so much more to come for you. Like there's such this promise of like deep emotional fulfillment to come through this process of connecting to your own heart. So that's what I got for card number 2, Princess of Cups. And now for my third card. So this is your reading if you chose the Spirit Quartz. Let's see. You got King of Swords. King of Swords. So your hot future is going to be characterized as one where you achieve things and do things and tick boxes and to-do lists in an order of magnitude that you've never imagined for yourself before. So if you haven't really seen yourself as being like a homeowner, or you haven't seen yourself as being someone who can like earn 6 figures a year or who can start a business, this card is here to tell you that nothing is too hard for you, nothing is too impossible, nothing is out of reach for you if you like put in the work and focus your mind. The King of Swords is excellent at these arenas that require logic and problem solving and communication. So this card is really calling on you to recognize yourself in it, recognize your strengths, your skills, and just it's here to also give you a little bit of a confidence boost and know that like that thing that you think is really hard, or that only real adults or real grown-ups do, or that I can't do because of, nobody in my family's ever done this before. Whatever it is, it's available to you. So it's kind of your choice if you'd like to work towards it or not. What I'm seeing is a lot of capacity already, not even like, oh, like you're going to develop it long term. Like it's here, it's now. It's just a matter of putting in, like deciding that you want it, basically. It's just a matter of opting into to the process or the journey. That's what I got for these pick a cards. Ryan, I don't know if you want to share which one you chose.
Yes. So I chose the second one, and then like the third one didn't, it wasn't a no, but it wasn't like a full yes. So it like felt like a little bit of that energy as well, but mostly the middle one, the prince. And I love that it's princess because like I am Princess, Princess of Cups. So that felt really good and exciting. Did you pick one for yourself?
Did not pick one for myself. I am going to pick all of them
Okay.
and receive all of their messages. So for me, like to see the star is really nice because that's just some extra evidence that the healing that we've been working on is working, and that it gets easier. It doesn't get harder, if that makes sense. Princess of Cups, I probably connected to a little bit less than the King of Swords, but I really love like the colors on this card, like purple, pink, blue. Those are my jam, in case you didn't realize yet. But yeah, this was a kind of fun way to do like a reading together. But I'm curious, like what should we do for our energy healing now? Should we kind of look at how we can integrate this, or maybe if there's any resistance popping up to a future where we can be fun and creative and lighthearted? Like what? No, like don't I have to be like an adult with all my shit together all the time?
No,
Um,
you don't. So for the energy healing, I'm just like so happy that we're doing this part two because in part one, if you remember, if you listen to it, we were talking about connecting to your passions, connecting to play. And that's what this is. That is us doing that with you. Like, we are on this journey
oh
together.
yeah.
We are not sometimes like this is a spiel that I probably shouldn't get into, but I'm going to. Like being a cult leader is not on my list of priorities, right? I never want to seem as if I know everything or that I have all the answers. Like I'm just walking this path with you, friends. Like, we're doing the same things that we're saying. Like, yeah, let's have some fun after some like really heaviness. Anyway, so I think
That,
would be
that's great. You'll balance me out because I could totally be a cult leader.
I'll make sure that doesn't happen. We're not drinking Kool-Aid on this podcast at all.
No, free
Um,
will, free will.
yeah. And so I think what would be fun is like we hold the archetypes of these cards in the energy healing. So I think we're going to connect to the energy, and then you're going to like bring that like archetype in and see like what feels good, maybe what feels a little like sticky and we're like wanting to like resist against, and how we can create more space for that. Do you think you can like quickly go over like big archetypes of those three cards?
Yeah, sure. So the first one would be the star energy, which is a healing. You can almost picture like an elven queen if you want, like that, like I'm thinking like Galadriel from like Lord of the Rings. Um, like healing figure, hopeful figure, bathed in light, right? Um, and just like magical, like this kind of celestial, magical, outside of time element to it. Princess of Cups, this is like youthful, creative, gentle, playful. And King of Swords archetype is like strong, forceful, good communication, and clear directions, and very like upright. Those are broad strokes. That's what I would say.
Totally. And so keep that in mind while we go through this energy healing so we can like I think we might do like a little lasso and like pull it into our energy space.
Sounds good.
So is there anything else that you feel? Okay, let's go for it. So let's get into our body. You can stretch. And just like I think I always want to know the why. And so, like, why we do this is because it helps settle our nervous system and allows us to go deeper. So, like, when we feel the heaviness of our body, when we listen to the other sounds, we're really, getting present, but also like really nourishing and calming our nervous system. So, that's what we're doing. Just like stretch. Maybe this time, look at something in your room, something around you that is like pretty to look at and just really notice it. Like pretend you have to sketch that from memory and like notice all the shapes while I connect to your energy. Again, you can feel the air on your skin, the gravity weighing down on you. This time I am doing a what I call a power ball. And so it's a giant ball of energy that's going into your body, into your energy body, that will support whatever it needs to support for as long as it needs to. So if something's like a little sticky, it can help release it. It's like this beautiful ball of angelic energy. So just know that that's there and I've connected. And we're just going to wrap us up in a big bubble of light, that which only serves your highest and greatest, most loving, joyful, pleasurable, peaceful, gentlest, best and highest good, and divine law and order. We are going to thank the earth, we thank your spirit team, and we ask them both to be with us while we receive this energy healing. And also, like, if you don't want to receive the energy healing, that's okay. You can just like say, I don't accept it, and just like see what it looks like, see what it feels like. This is all about consent. And so I want you to think about which card you pulled, what archetype you want to connect to. We've created this space. And I want you to either picture the card, picture that feeling, that hot future for yourself. And I want you to imagine like a magical lasso, and you're like, get ready to throw it over this archetype and like slowly pull it closer to your heart space. And it doesn't need to just be that one. Sarah's doing all of them. You can imagine like, the playful creative princess sounds good, but maybe I want a little bit of that like healing elf queen energy, so you can pull a little bit of that in as well. And I want you to imagine this in front of your heart space. Your heart is open. And I want you to just see how this feels. Is it easy to embrace this archetype, this tarot card, this hot future? Do you feel a little resistance? Just be curious right now, no judgment. What would that even look like? Like for your hot future self, what would the King of Swords energy look like in your future? Or the Star, or the Princess of Cups? You can journal it, you can visualize it. And not what you think you should do, right? Like if you're pulling the King of Swords, it's like, well, I should get my act together. But it's like more of like what would feel good in that energy. Like maybe it's like, I want to start a project and I need to have all these lists completed. It's not necessarily what society says you should do, but like what feels good. And now feel where any sticky part is. Like I'm connecting to the Princess of Cups, but it's like there's something there that I'm not fully accepting. And I think it's, well, there's more important things to do than play all the time. Is there? I don't know. Like what? Like get curious with that part too. Who like is that true? Is that what society's telling me? Is that what my mom told me or my dad told me when I was 3 years old? Like get curious about that sticking point that doesn't feel like it's fully connecting. And just see if there's a way that you can push up against it. I always say we don't have to go from A to Z. We can go from A to B, A to A and a half. Like, is there a way to be like, well, maybe I can't play and be creative all the time, but is there a way, in a way that, like, as I think of like a little kid gets to play all the time, but is there a way I can bring play and creativity into my 9 to 5 or when I'm doing the dishes? Is there a way I can play with this? Play with it. Princess of Cups energy. And now I want you to think, let's go back to what would my hot future look like with this energy? Now that we've kind of like played around with it and done a little bit of like a deep dive on what doesn't feel good, what does feel good. Now let's like really get into the future part of it. Like, what would this look like for future you? What would be the best expression? The thing that excites you the most, that feels like the hottest version of you? What are you doing with this energy, with this archetypal energy? And just know if this is challenging, you can always come back to it. Visualizing is a muscle, even if you can't like see it in your head, you know, you can practice, you can journal. It takes time to like believe in this stuff, to like trust yourself, trust what's coming up. Like, for example, again, Princess of Cups, I'm seeing myself like laying out on the beach or a lake, specifically like a lake after sailing. I don't know how to sail. That seems really challenging, but I do want to learn how to sail. And so it's like, okay, I got to learn how to sail. That's on my to-do list. What would there be easier things to do? Yes, I could kayak or paddleboard, but like this version of me wants to sail. So let's see if I can do it. I just want you to now imagine. No, let's do a different visualization. Let's imagine that there's a pool of water in front of you, and this pool of water is that future hot version of yourself that you can call on to now. And your archetype is there, that card, and you just dive into that energy. You just let osmosis come in, that energy fills in your cells. Okay. And I want you to ask yourself, this one question before we ground, and it's what can I do right now that connects to this energy? How can I bring that healing elf queen energy, that princess of creativity, of play, the king of, clear communication and lists and checking things off? Like, how can I do that right now? It can be small, it can be big, whatever feels good. Okay, let's start to get ready to ground. Feel your body again. Feel how heavy you are in the chair. I want you to imagine a bright light in the base of your spine. It fills your pelvis, your legs, your ankles, your feet. And your feet open up, and then two thick roots go down, 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 deep into the earth. And then we wrap you up in a big bubble of light, knowing that this energy, this hot future version of yourself, is in you now. Like it is your energy. And we're wrapping you up. And you can imagine that, like a tarot card, that person, that figure is like giving you a high five, like, what's up. We're moving forward with this energy. Take a few deep breaths. I'm going to disconnect our energy, send it back to you, call back my own energy. Okay. How does that feel, Sarah?
I think it feels good. It was really powerful when you said like that this energy is you now. I was just like, boom, like, oh shit, okay. I guess this is my new reality then. And now I'm gonna have to go live the rest of my day like this Princess of Cups, how she would live her day. So, which is kind of fun. I'm excited for it. I'm like, okay, great. That's what I'll do then. Like, it's just it felt really like really. It felt like a really natural way to integrate the reading. How did it feel for you?
Well, it felt really good for me, but I kept so like not always can I connect to the energy for myself as well as
Right.
like give it out. But when I asked like how can I bring that energy into right now, I saw like hopscotch and I'm like, that's kind of annoying. I don't have any chalk. I don't know, that seems so silly. And it's like, isn't there like a better use of my time to be playful? And so now I'm like,
Oh, like so harsh.
I know. So now I'm like, okay, I gotta go get like some stones or something and go out on this asphalt and I'm gonna draw me a little hopscotch thing and I'm gonna do it. And it's gonna feel silly. And I think that's the point. Yeah.
Make up your own rules and be like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, the next person to get this is the princess. You're the only one playing, so you win.
I win all the time. No, I think
That's
it's so important to like do like not everything you visualize is possible in that very next second, but like so many times I like turn away from it because I'm like, that doesn't make sense. It's silly. But it's like, no, like I gotta do it because it is so silly. And that's the whole
yeah.
point.
It's like personal development homework that you've given yourself. So you can ignore it and nothing will change. Go
Exactly.
ahead. Go ahead. If you love your life and don't want anything to improve or change ever, like enjoy. But these instincts, these impulses, these they're actually messages that come to us. Like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do this, and oh, I want to do hopscotch. I want to make friendship bracelets. I want to color whatever it is. it's just an invitation for you to take some more steps towards becoming this different version of yourself, one who is more in flow, one who experiences more joy and pleasure and connection to their emotions. So if you don't want those things, then don't play hopscotch, right? Maybe just go watch TikTok for an hour. But I mean, I think you're here, you're listening to this, you've heard this, that's not you. You know that. So I'm just saying that so we can all hold ourselves some gentle accountability. I've I love holding myself in that space. That it's kind of like a reparenting for me as well.
I love that, and I will, text you in, I don't know,
Yeah.
an hour or so.
Tell me who won the
Yeah,
hopscotch
I'll show
match.
you I'll show you
And
my, chalk outline that I just did.
oh my gosh, that's so fun. I love that for you.
Yeah.
For me, I'm just gonna like put on some Lana Del Rey and like maybe put a bow in my hair and make myself some like chicken tendies and steamed carrots, which is like my favorite childhood food. And I'll just do some work and be very in my flow kind of state. Like I think like I imagine this Princess of Cups energy is.
I love that. And so I'm currently doing like this personal project where I'm like choosing to do fun every day, and I will say like
Mhm.
I'm learning that you have to choose fun. Like you have to create it, and not all the time, but a lot of the time. And so just remember that like go out and create this. Go out and like do the thing you want to do because that is what's going to bring you where you want to be.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of effort, and
Yeah, gross.
and that's okay
Yeah.
because you don't want to. I don't know if you've seen the Pixar movie Wall-E, but in this imagined future, humanity is living on a spaceship, and they're all just like in like floating scooters, and they don't do anything or move their bodies at all because of space and gravity like stuff. They're just kind of like blobs that kind of like zoom around and experiencing things. Ooh, like that. It's like don't be a blob. Like you're alive. Why don't you experience the whole gamut of the human experience and challenge yourself to make a new, better reality?
That sounds very King of
I don't know.
Swords of you right now, which you,
Really?
yeah, I love it. No, it's like it takes all types. We got to do it.
Thanks so much for joining
Yes.
us,
Thank you
and thank you,
guys.
Ryan, for your reading. This has been part two, so go back and listen to part one if you missed it, and also like just come back and listen to this in a couple weeks when you forgot what each card corresponds to each stone, and maybe you'll learn something different. Thanks for listening again, and just follow us on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you have the time and feel inspired, you can leave us a review. It's really helpful for our small women queer owned business. And you can learn more about the work that I do at Mystic Rose Tarot. I'd be happy to read for you anytime.
Yeah, and check me out at Energy with Ryan, RYAN.com. And I do one-on-one sessions. I have a monthly energy healing memberships, well, like a group membership. So check it out. Love for you to be a part of the vibes that we have.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Bye, friends.